There's a reason that I am discussing the climate crisis today, because it's not distinguishable from or separate from Gaza at all. Someone who's real smart, who wrote a book about the infiltration and control of the GOP by fossil fuel companies, in a very sort of matter-of-fact way, I think, that I haven't read it yet, but I mean, this person is limited in scope, but diligent, and to my mind, wanting, at least, aspiring to be helpful, and has been. Because for a while, climate denial of the kind that the fossil fuel industry was spewing out was making it difficult to have the right conversations. But this hasn't been true for a long time. Anyhow, the point is that no one ever tried to have the right conversations who is affluent. Now, I mean, none of this is hard to figure out. And I am not saying anything about the quality of their character, like when they were born. And I certainly won't know what the net impact of their lives is when they die. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about life, about how their life does or does not participate in life on Earth. If you participate in life on Earth, you don't participate in extinguishing it, in exterminating it. They don't participate in it. They don't feel any vital connection to it. They don't believe I do. They don't believe anyone does. They think that's simple-minded. They tell themselves anything they need to. The capacity of the human mind to believe contradictory things is essential. I love it that we can do that. We would not be intelligent if we couldn't. But they've discovered it, and then they've discovered that it doesn't actually have an outer limit as long as you're choosing some alleged form of mental comfort that stems from the fact that you have a self-image. Even though you don't have a life that's defensible, you have a self-image. I guess. I don't know. I think it's nothing like that. I think when you fail to live as a human being, then that's evil. Evil is lived backwards, literally. But it's also, life was given to you, and life on Earth is a gift that when you take it in is unfathomably generous. And in fact, even to take it in, you have to give life to make room for it. They're not in that gift economy at all. And when you suggest that they give life to a starving child, nothing happens. There's no change in their expression. It isn't considered. Nothing. That was hard for me to learn. It was hard for me to learn. It was hard for me to watch. I had a pretty good audience on LinkedIn. At one point, I got Peter Kalmus, a NASA climate scientist, close to 250,000 views, me. I mean, he wasn't getting that from the news networks combined. So, not bad. But at that point. But, the thing is, they never change. They take the information, they file it away, they don't change. And so you're still getting the same blank stare, and eventually you've told them not only about the macro situation, that is, I'm not on the continent. I didn't have to be. All I did. Here's Paul's distinction. More people should do this if you expect to survive. Here's what I did. I made myself a bridge. I listened exclusively to people in the most affected peoples. I listened exclusively to the most affected peoples and areas. Not only do activists but to farmers, to teachers, to doctors, to public health experts, to academics, anybody, especially relief workers. Uh, People don't know this, but on the African continent, because the IPCC really is knowingly depopulating the global south, it would make no sense for it to make it easy for us to see that. And so it did not, even though it's always known Africa would suffer the worst effects of global warming first, suffer it worst and first. They never took advantage of knowing that in advance to make sure there were weather stations, to make sure there was climate surveillance. Well, why not? If it's first, then the whole world's chance of any future worthy of the name depends on us being extraordinarily attentive to it. No, science has not been in earnest ever because it works for money, not for life. It's never been in earnest. What it does, what the IPCC does with these, every so often, just autopsies. They are premature autopsies. But what they are is, this is how we're killing you. This is how we're killing you. This is how much we've accelerated the point at which life where you live will not just be hard and then more or less impossible, but non-existent. This is what we're doing. You're going to be dead soon. When there's never an intention to act, it doesn't matter how nice you think you are. It doesn't matter how solid you think your reputation for civility is. It has nothing to do with it. You're doing what you're doing. You're saying what you're saying, and you're not stupid. And you will be held to account. And it is time for you to apologize to all of us for being such big, fat liars. There is no way to apologize for participating knowingly in the depopulation of most of the earth. There just isn't. But you could at least apologize to the public for allowing it to believe that there was a benign intention and there was a competent scientific effort. There never has been. My previous video goes over that in detail. The good news is that if you don't waste any more time with people who use global warming exclusively for to be a socialite, they're lonely, their lives are empty and barren of meaning. So they, when you care enough about life to face hard news and think about what to do about it, life is kind in return, and you don't have a crisis of meaning. But they have a crisis of meaning, and they stick themselves in the middle of everything with the potential to save us, and just kill it. And you've got to stop them.